All right. Bear with me just a moment here. I just want to check to make sure my the voice is working well. Just bear with me a moment. Okay, looks like everything is working smoothly. Um, I'm gonna drop a fresh link in the chat. Um, all right. So got a fresh link in the chat. Of course, I want to start off this video by saying Shalom. And of course, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh and to his son Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, which is who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Um, this is just going to be a an open discussion. Okay, the we got a fresh link in the chat for any brother who wants to join us here tonight. Okay, hey, if we got any globe tards as they call them, or anyone who believes in a round earth, you are welcome to click that link and to come on here with us. I see we have Mind of God on here. Mind of God, if you want to join the stream, there's a fresh link just up above. If you want to join us on here. I did want to address something real quick. I was supposed to do a show with what's that, brother? Good Servant, right? So I reached out to him this morning and asked him, "Hey man, are you willing to join me today?" And apparently he didn't. So now it appears, he's trying to back out of the discussion that I wanted to have with him. It's like, okay, so I invited him on to have a civilized, discussion on topics that we might, disagree with. So, it just looks like he's starting to back out of it. Hey, minor guy, you hear me?
Hey, Biggie.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man? What's up, dude?
And man, I'm just, sitting around, chilling tonight.
Good.
You know, yeah, what's up with you, man?
Same, man. Just played some golf. It was so hot. I just played 9 holes because it's like just really hot, man. So just came back from that. Just noticed you were live. I was actually about to go walk over to see the Hebrews, but I may just chit chat with you. We'll see.
Oh, that sounds good, man. What is GMS doing their show right now down where you're at?
Yeah, they're downtown, and so am I. So I pop over there once in a while. GMS Houston. So
Oh yeah, I know those guys. I know those guys.
they got
As I
flavor,
said,
man.
there was.
I
Go
like the way
ahead.
they got it's you learn stuff and it's entertaining. It's both with those guys.
Yeah, the best of both worlds, man. Which, as I said, man, some guys in GMS are, most definitely worth, having conversations with, man. How did your last interaction with them go?
I don't ever say anything when I go there. I just listen. I haven't said a single word. Once years ago, somebody asked me a question, but I didn't know a lot of the things that I know now. But no, I just listen, and pay attention and that kind of thing. Don't interrupt.
Right. That's always a good way to look at it, man. But anyway, I just wanted to, go over this real quick, man. I reached out to Good Servant
Yeah,
not too long ago. Just this morning, I reached out to him, because I
I call
wanted
I
to
call
do the
them
show with him.
I call them
Go
bad
ahead.
serpents, by the way. But you can call them good servant. That's fine.
Yeah. And anyway, man, I reached out to him because I saw he did a show this morning.
Yeah.
So I went on to the comment board, and of course, Tony was there. So I was respectful with him. I told him, "Hey, man, we talked about you the other day, man. You might want to give that a watch, man. But hey, it's all cool with them. They got on me, and Good Servant was like, "Well, you guys should be arguing." And then I was like, "Hey, man, he, all was on there calling me a damn devil demon. So of
Yeah.
course I have to, respond to him." And of course he only came after me. He didn't come after anybody else there, Good Servant. You got on me and said, "Well, you shouldn't be, causing division in the comment board." It's like, wait, brother, all I did was address a comment that somebody put up negatively, against me. That's all. I wanted to keep it cool. Anyway, we had that happen, but then I, have him on a different chat. I talked to him, so I message him and I'm like, hey man, you able to join me for for the show that we wanted to do? And what it looks like now is he's starting to back away from it because he really doesn't want to discuss it. He's like, I believe 100% of the Bible, and I agree. Okay, true. Okay, so it's like he said there's a couple of things we disagree on. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's why I want to have a civilized discussion with you
He
on the
said a
show.
couple
So
things. A couple things. Oh my god, dude! Really? Okay, sorry to interrupt. Keep going. My bad. A couple
yeah,
things.
yeah, man. I'll,
Okay.
I'll I'll let you get your 2 cents in on a minute. I'm just gonna give the context of what happened. So let's see where did I leave off at. You know, let me think real quick. So what happened was, um, I talked to him and I'm like, well, hey man, I wanted to have a discussion with you so we can address the point that we might disagree with. And somehow he didn't understand that. So I try to explain to it again. And I try to have to do it slowly because the brother might have a bad time of comprehending certain things, which I'm not putting that on him. Maybe I'm wrong. So I tried to explain it slowly again. I said, say for an example, if somebody says the earth is a globe and I say the earth is flat, is that not something that we should discuss and try to reason together on? And
Right.
he would agree. It's like, okay, good. So if you're on there saying that anybody can receive salvation, and I'm on there saying that that's not true, shouldn't we at least have a civilized discussion on why we might disagree? And he still couldn't understand that. So
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know what the hell to think at this point, man. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm curious. Why do you want to reach out to him just kind of to pass the time and say hello? You can. I would just be upfront with him because he'll be defensive because we're we're certain in what we believe. Okay, we could be wrong. I don't want to speak for you, but we could be wrong, right? We say that enough, but yeah, I mean, like you don't know if he feels like you're gonna try and attack him and like all that kind of stuff. But if you're just kind of reaching out to him as a fellow YouTuber who's into the Bible, and that kind of thing, that might be a better approach because he's not into the Bible nearly the way you are. I mean, your avatar says the BIG, right, for a reason.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Which let me just say this real quick, man. As I said, I'm cool with good servant. I want to bring him on just to have a civilized discussion, and it's cool where we don't have any beef with the brother. We don't at all hate the brother, not at all. We want to have a civilized, you know, um,
well, I
discussion with the
do,
brother.
I
So
do, but you don't have to.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess I
And,
don't
and
see
don't
that.
and don't get me. Hey, look, man, don't get me wrong. I already know that I know more than he can comprehend when it comes to the Bible. I already know that. I just wanted to give the brother a chance to have a civilized discussion,
Right.
and it sharpens our sword, by having conversations and debates. It makes us more intelligent, but also the our opponents, they might see things in a different way. But anyway, let me just hit the comments real quick.
Okay.
Wick Pennsylvania said, "Hey, how do you remove camera?" Um, well, let's see. There's a link in there, man. If you click that link, you'll see a figure there. If you come on the show, if you click that, you can put your icon on instead of your camera.
And I would actually
Okay.
recommend for people to not go on camera. Just even this ETT. That like when I do my live stream tomorrow, I don't like when people put the camera on. There's no reason to. There's enough weird things on the internet. Well, I don't want to see it. So
Let's see. Good servant sent me a message real quick. Let me just read this real quick, and then you can talk for a minute.
can I read a verse
Because
ETT
I'm
while you
sure.
get that?
Oh yeah, go ahead, man. Go
This is
ahead.
one of your favorite ones, and I think it's so fitting for what's going on in Babylon right now. But sorry, it'll just take me a second to pull it up here.
Hey, Awaken Pennsylvania, man. Before I let you talk, I have you on here, but let me let Mind of God just read his scripture he presented real quick,
Okay.
and then I will then I'll let you talk. All right. So let mine God go first.
Yeah,
Okay, man.
Isaiah 24:11. There is crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone.
Right, man. That shows everything that's going on around us. But anyway, Awaken Pennsylvania, how are you doing, man?
Hey, man, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. How you be doing, my friend?
Hey, man, how's it going, man? Yeah, man. I've been trying to get a hold of you for a while. It's really good that we're talking and stuff, because I remember you sent me this link or something, and it was like Google. I don't know. It was just like, I don't know, my software or something was screwing up every time. Um, yeah, so I guess we're talking now. So what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Where did we meet before? Are you from the chat that we had on Google Hangouts, or
We
tell me, where
never
did you try to meet me before?
we've chatted on Hangouts, but we never had like actual talk. Like we never actually like talked or anything. So
Yeah, so just so I know, are you from the teenage myth conversation?
yes, I am. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey, man, it's good to have you on the show, man. Well, what topic of discussion you want to bring up?
Well, since it's your show, man, I mean, why don't you just shoot Eddie? Just it's your live stream. So what do you want to bring out, man? There's so many things.
Hey, well, as I said, man, I'm feeling, like an open mic, talk tonight, man. So let's just go over this real quick. In the chat that we have on, the teenage myth thing,
Mm-hmm.
any topics regarding that, anything you wanted to ask me, because you said you wanted to talk to me, you wanted to reach out to me for a while. So anything that you wanted to bring up in particular?
Oh man, there's so many things. Where do I begin? Um, Sheet. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to talk about that, I guess we can.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
It's an open mic tonight. We can address any topic of discussion is certainly welcome, on this platform, man. So hey, I'll answer your questions, and anything is cool, man.
okay. Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I agree with you with a lot of things. But yeah, I definitely agree with you on the teenage myth. I definitely agree with that. That it's a 20th century invention, and it's kind of funny because even back when I was in my teens, I always thought it was kind of bullshit too. But you never really think about that, that kind of stuff, and it really opened my mind when you had that book. What's that book called? Teen 2.0 by um,
Robert Epstein.
yeah. As even back when I was a teenager, as I said, I always thought that it's like I don't really feel like a kid, you know. Um,
Right.
it's just crazy, what would you add to that?
Man, as I said, when I was 12 or 13 too, I would of course consider myself, to be a young adult, man. And you see, nobody really thinks about this. It's like, and I brought up in one of my videos, I brought up an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I was at a party this one time for one of my cousins was turning 13, right? And she had one of her friends there. There was a friend
Mm-hmm.
of her sister. She was 17, turning 18. So one of the dialogues that they had um,
Mm-hmm.
was the older girl said, "Hey, I'm becoming a adult and you're becoming a teenager." So I was thinking to myself, well, wait a second. How the hell are you not an adult? You look like an adult. You act like an adult. You
Mm-hmm.
look like a fully grown woman. So what is it that makes you not a fully grown woman? And if you ask them these things, they really don't know. They just know to repeat what they're told because they don't know any better. Anyway, man, I'll throw the mic back to you.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it's crazy. How am I going to say this? It's crazy that Americans, particular. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world. I'm going to say mostly like Western countries' belief system, like the U.S., Canada, Australia, the U.K. Like English speaking Anglo cultured countries. it seems to really be a big issue in you know, this kind of culture. Um,
Right.
Again, I don't know how it is in the other any other parts of the world, but as I can speak of, I'm in the United States, so I can speak for it. But yeah, I think it's stupid because, you know, people like, for instance, like people will say like, oh, you're a child, you know, like say you're like 17, you're a child, like, oh, you're a little child. Then a minute past midnight, you're like, oh, you're an adult. Like that's crazy. Like it's
Right.
so,
Right.
I,
Hey,
I, I thought, I thought I was the only, like when I watched your videos, I thought literally I was like one of the only people that thought that. Like I thought like people cannot see how stupid that is. Like they just,
right. Right. Hey, brother. Sorry,
mhm.
sorry to cut you off, man, but I did want to say a couple things.
Okay, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
look, man, I did a video just to be sarcastic. What I did is the day I turned 18, I did a video. I started
Hmm.
the video off at when I was 17, and I ended the video off when I was 18. So I said in the video, am I any different of a person than who I was when I started the video than who I am when I end the video? Of course not. But wait a second. If you subscribe to the belief that an 18-year-old is an adult and a 17-year-old is a child, well, by logical deduction, you must agree, oh, yeah, well, he started the video off, as a child, but then he somehow ended the video off as an adult. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I do want to throw something out there, man. I was planning on doing a stream maybe this
Hmm.
week or next week. It's going to
Hmm.
be about the teenage myth. So I'll have to invite you on to that. And also, I don't know if you heard this yet, but I am
Hmm.
working on my own book, and I'm going to entitle it The Teenage Myth.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I think it's ridiculous. And what I've noticed too lately is that I don't know if you noticed this either, but it seems to be only really targeted at males, at men. For example, one of my friends cousin, she's a girl, by the way. I guess her cousin he's like 16 years old, and she was with him at this. I guess they're in Florida on vacation, and you know, I guess he banged one of, like, you know, he told one of the girls there. I guess the girl was like 24, 25 years old, and he told she was telling me this too. She was yeah, she was like 24, 25, and he basically went up to her and said, I'm 17 going on 18. And she didn't really, you know, she didn't really act like, oh my God, you know, I can't believe, you know, she knew what happened and let it happen. Backtrack a couple days ago, there was a guy that did the same thing, and she was saying what a creep and stuff he is. Like, that's so hypocritical. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
as I
Like,
said, yeah, yeah, man. It's ridiculous because in fact, in my book, I have a chapter of the book going over the insanity of the myth. I believe I entitled the chapter, and one of the insanities is it's ridiculous. Think about this for a second. If if a man, which gotta watch what you say on this platform, of course, because
yeah,
YouTube will censor it. But
yep,
if a man was to lay with a woman who's 17 years old, that's some type of like, like some matter of fact. Let me rephrase myself. I heard before there was a joke that was made about an 84-year-old man sleeping with an 18-year-old, and people were like, oh well, yeah, she was just horny young woman, right? But if she was one day before that magic number, then all that's some type of like, he should be hung. He should be certainly hung for such a terrible crime. If it was just one day before this magic number, and it is all absolute hypocrisy. It is all bullshit. And
exact.
America will pay for this. The United States of America, aka Mystery Babylon the Great, will pay for this because this is a crime against humanity. I'll throw the
Well,
mic back to you.
Well, again, yes, it definitely originated here in the U.S. and I'd say Canada, because I heard Canada is pretty much the United States. I mean, it's like America Junior. Um, Australia is pretty much the same. Probably again, they're probably still not as bad as the United States is with that, but they're pretty close. Now, someone did tell me that a lot of other countries are adopting that too, and that probably has to do with a lot of America's bullying and the westernization of, you know, other countries, you know. But again, yeah, I find it hypocritical. I mean, I find it, ridiculous that, and and the thing is too, I really looked into this stuff, and it's what you say is the truth. I mean, you can support it biblically, you can support it historically, I mean, there's so many facts you can use to pull up for this argument. Um, there's been tests done. There's been everything done to prove this. Like people will just shame you. They use ad hominem attacks. Like it's a very touchy subject to bring up to
And
people.
Wait, wait.
you
Can
see,
I ask
my
a
friend.
question? Can I ask a question about like the
Here, hold on,
bylaws?
mind of God, hold on. I'll let you talk in a moment, mind of God. I just wanted to throw something out there.
Okay.
And you see, it's all based upon magic. That's all it is. And it's funny because, say for an example, the age of consent around the world, the lowest is 11, but the highest is 21. It's like, okay, so
That
what is the real one?
that's North
It's
Korea.
absolute bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. Mind of God, you can go ahead and throw your comment in.
Well, no, my question is just, let's say that the age is turned to whatever number you individuals prefer or think is the biblical number. How do you feel that would change society? Like, let's say today or tomorrow it changed. What would you think would be the immediate result?
Well, I mean that would absolutely change the society because you see you have a lot of, and this is why you have to read the book, which it's Awaken
Oh,
Pennsylvania, man. Is there any way you could get that background
well,
noise out of the way? It's cool now. Anyway,
yeah.
let me continue my statement. It would absolutely change the society because a lot of young people, actually, the reason why they're down and out, right, depressed and whatnot, is because they're actually treated like children when they're actually
Hmm.
biological adults. So if they were allowed to handle and to take on adult responsibility, but also receive the adult freedom, that would be a great thing. Matter of fact, Dr. Robert Epstein, in an interview with I don't remember who it was, but it's a news thing. They asked him something along the lines as, you don't think, teens should be engaging in marriage or any of that. And he was like, absolutely they should be. So, it's that would be my response to that, is it would actually make it a very good thing. Matter of fact, I'll say this. The Lord would actually lighten the judgment of America if America was to do away with this one thing. The Lord would actually lighten America's judgment. Mind of God, I'll let you respond. Then I'll throw back to Wake in Pennsylvania.
No, but you didn't really answer my question. What would it change? Like, what would it allow the person to do and all that kind of stuff? Okay, so then they'd be eligible to marry sooner, which is agreed. That there's no way the government should decide, fundamentally. But okay, then they'd be able to work sooner, right? They'd be able to be a slave sooner in corporate America, right?
Right.
So okay, so
Well,
like, would somebody
I
actually
mean,
sign up for that?
they'll gain control over their life at a younger age. So that would be a great step for them. Now, for you, it's not going to change anything, but for that individual, that'll be very, helpful for them to enter into the adult world earlier instead of being held back for a number of years. So for you, it wouldn't make a change, but for that individual, it would make a change. Awaken, Pennsylvania. Do you want to throw anything back on mine of God's statement?
Well, the working life that most especially Americans, have is unnormal for anybody. The slave, the overtime, the hours, the whole monetary system is just unnatural for human beings in the get go. Let's be
Agreed.
honest. I mean,
Agreed.
people are not. That don't matter what age you are. It's not. It's not natural. The world we're living in is not natural to anybody. So, but also it would change a lot of things too, because if you look at Germany, the drinking age in Germany is 16 years old, and Germany has. So, don't mind the traffic. I'm almost. I'm walking to my house, so.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Um,
It's cool.
but yeah, anyways, in Germany, the drinking age is 16 years old, and Germany, the youth, so called, they have less. There's less drinking deaths. There's less because what happens is, like, let's say like in America, when you have a high drinking age, like drinking age is 21, you create a forbidden fruit. So you're going to have more young people doing reckless things with the alcohol than when you have it younger, because the people in Germany look at the American youth and they're like, guys, it's just alcohol. Why are you chugging it like that? We're used to drinking it. See, you kind of get what I'm saying. It makes people like when you take, people are going to rebel more towards it. And that's what ETT was basically saying. Like when you take things away from people, that's why a lot of teens emanate that adult behavior. Granted, they emanate the wrong sides of adult behavior, but they still emanate because they want to be that.
Yeah, I'm not debating that it's wrong. Like I agree that I have to dig into this a little bit more. I think maybe I have to go over the scriptures that ETT and Deacon went over, but so I don't have a definitive number, based on study of the Bible itself. But I do agree fundamentally that an evil system should not be deciding when anybody drink or get married or whatever. So yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And another aspect to look at it, and I asked, the decoon and the sidekick Facade, I asked them this question, and they deliberately skipped over this because they didn't know, but I asked them a question, and it's a two-part question. It's a trap. Basically, I asked them, is sexual sin a great sin in the Bible? They say, yes, it is. So I asked, okay, then. So why did the Most High give children sexual feelings if he did not intend for them to engage in them? They don't know the answer to that. But I mean, it clearly refutes it, because why would the Most High God give the supposed children sexual desires? As a matter of fact, their bodies are able to engage in this action. But wait, it's a sin for them to engage in that. That's utterly ridiculous.
Right.
And nobody can answer that.
You
Go
know
ahead.
what
In a qualitative sense, I agree with you on that. That makes sense. It's like, yeah, sorry, I agree with that. Like, again, I can't prove that in the scriptures. I'd have to do a study on it, but that makes logical sense. Our body is created by God perfectly, right? He could have paused those feelings until whenever he wanted. So
Right. Now I want to say this real quick before I let Awaken Pennsylvania join in. But what they did when I brought it up is they went to the unnatural world now and brought up, well, wait a second, but 5-year-olds can get their periods. And the reason why that happens is that's not normal. That happens today because of the over-sexualization of the society and by the foods that these children are eating. That's not normal. We're talking about normal progression in the world that the Most High made up. So a woman or a male come upon sexual maturity at roughly 12 to 14 years old, on average, according to the scriptures and according to history. So, Waken, Pennsylvania, and I'll let you go ahead and respond.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I find it quite funny, when as you said, we go off the natural, and people's natural. God gave us these feelings of natural reproduction. I think humans are the only animals, or whatever, what I mean, mammals, the only living beings on this planet that has people telling them how to live their lives and how to where and when to procreate.
right.
It's crazy once you really think about it, because most living things in nature, they just go out and live naturally. They do what they do. Like if they feel a certain way, they're going to do it. But humans are the only.
And that's. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is too, like in America, they want to shame, particularly men. They want to shame men for liking young women. But I find it funny because it's perfectly okay to be a transgender. It's perfectly okay to be a homosexual, which is unnatural. But if you want to have
hell, in certain states, because I know what you're getting at, in certain states, like I believe it's California, you can sleep with dogs. That's perfectly. But hold on here. But all that's okay to do. All of that's okay. But if you sleep with a person under a magic number, even if they agree, then that's some type of like capital sin that you should be hung for. It is absolute utter hypocrisy.
No, but and also ETT,
bullshit.
the hypocrisy also is that the leaders that put the penalties for that, they're doing that. We know that for a fact. So that's also another issue. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's just say that they made those rules to be wrong. Okay, even the show like To Catch a Predator, that's a very hypocritical show because they're not catching the government people doing that. They're just catching like everyday quote unquote average.
Oh, yeah, there's a funny thing I want to bring up about that. You mentioned that, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm done. You can go, AP.
Well, that's really funny you bring that up because on To Catch a Predator, I guess there was a police officer, one of the people in what the heck's that called? Perverted Justice. One of the people, I don't know what the heck you call them people, the bait or whatever, the people behind the sting. They got busted for talking to a so-called underage,
Jeez.
and so they had to actually let all they kept this very secret. They let them go, and they let the other people go, and they're saying they were covering up. They're covering up badly, and then there was a cop there too with them that did it too, and they covered
Jeez.
it up.
AP, check this out, dude. If they did all those things like with the government, let's say you know how they spy on us, but they spied on the government, we wouldn't have an end times because the unrighteousness would get cleaned out. So that's the biggest problem. It's like, again, I'm not agreeing with their rules because obviously they're all stupid. They're actually all explicitly designed to be against the Bible. Like the Bible says the earth is flat, so they're going to make a ball. The Bible says this, so they're going to say something else. You know, that's the way it is. But yeah, if they applied those rules even lightly against the government, I don't think we would even have an end times. It wouldn't be possible.
Well, the thing is too, the government. It's funny, especially here in America. They have everything that's unnatural is natural and right and moral, and everything that's natural is not moral. So,
Right.
and people even get the word perversion wrong. Like they'll call a guy liking a young woman a pervert, which firstly that definition is even wrong, because pervasion is something that's unnormal. So that would be examples of screwing an animal would be considered perversion. Screwing another same sex is considered perverted. Not naturally liking
That's all
biological.
okay. Here in America, all of that is okay. But if you do this one thing, which it's funny, man, because hold on a second. The Bible condemns all these things that are saying is okay, but the one thing they say is not okay, the scriptures say you can do it. I just wanted to pull up a scripture real quick. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 16. It says, "Surely your turning of things upside down shall be
Mm-hmm.
esteemed as a potter's clay."
Right.
I got one too, ATT, in Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, and woe is destruction. So that's what's going to
Right,
happen to
right.
those
And
things.
and you know, man, as I said, this is a deep topic here, because this is what everybody gets emotional. Anybody can talk about
Yeah.
any other topic, but the
Yeah.
one topic that everybody will be emotional is this one topic. Nobody can use logic on this topic. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's funny because guys say, hold on, I'll let you talk in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Guys will sit on there and say, well, age doesn't matter. But yet those are the same guys that say, well, you don't become an adult until you're a certain age. And I also like to propose a question. It's like, okay, so you're not an adult until a certain time, but it's like, well, wait a second. After a person hits puberty, what change actually happens after that? Whether 1 second they're a child, but then magically 2 seconds later they now become an adult. I mean, at what point is there like some type of like magic change that just happens past when this person becomes sexually mature? And nobody knows. It's just, well, that's the law. It's okay. Well, what is the law? Oh, well, it's just something somebody made up. And I'll say this again, I recommend a book named The Most Dangerous Superstition by Larkin Rose, which is a phenomenal book that goes into, why anything legal or illegal is bullshit, because it's just something somebody made up. Anyway, Pennsylvania, you can respond to that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's ridiculous, and the thing is, of course, it's going to be it's a very touchy subject. I mean, it's probably one of the most controversial subjects you can have, more than anything. People, I think, people especially in the West, they have been beaten down so much by the propaganda. They've seen shows like To Catch a Predator and all that stuff, that they're so emotional. What the government does is, when they have a propaganda, they don't do it through logic. They do it through emotion. They get people through emotions.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and when you get people through emotions, logic goes out the window. You could tell somebody the facts all day. If they're emotionally attached to that belief, there's no way you're going to convince them. It's like
Yeah, and
it's
that's
like
why you have sorry to cut you off, man, but that's why you have a word called cognitive dissonance, and that's all it is that they want to believe what they believe, because you see, when the facts are presented, the facts don't line up with what they believe. So instead of being a man and going by the facts, they're just going to pretend that the facts are not true to stick with their belief. That's what you call cognitive dissonance. Anyway, I'll let you continue with your statement.
yeah, as I said again, people get emotional. They get emotional ties to their belief, and it's like it's almost like a breakup when you challenge their ideology. It's like a guy that's with a bad girlfriend, and he keeps denying you. He wants to fight you. He calls you names. Like, you're telling him, hey, look, this girl's bad for you, but he gets this, no, she's not, and rah rah rah. Because why? Because he's emotionally invested in her. That's how people are. That's how you gotta look at people with their beliefs. They're
Hey, Pete, check this
emotionally.
out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They're emotionally tied to their beliefs, so it's hard for them to break. It's like breaking up with in a relationship. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy that no one really just sits down with anything, really, honestly. Like, everyday people just don't sit and question things. They just take everything for face value and accept it. It's crazy. And
Right, and you see, my friend, and this is why I would say, and I am by far one of the most unique individuals that's ever lived on the face of this earth, because there's
Biggie.
nobody out there who can. Hey, look, I am the notorious BG when it comes to understanding. The way I look at the world, the way I view things in my brain, the average person cannot think of it. Say, for an example, I was the first person to ever come on YouTube and to say that 18 is 666.
By the
Nobody
way,
else was saying that
ETT, I
until
got to
I
give you
came.
credit for
Go
that.
ahead.
1 second, man, because I actually feel bad because I thought I got that from Russian vids, but it might have been you, man. So I tip my hat to you.
Oh, it was
I
me,
doubt
man. It
Russian
was
Vid
me. I
said
was the
something like
first
that.
one. He did, but I was the first one who brought that out, because I brought that out I want to say a good 6 years ago, because I first put that out in the comment section. In fact, I went on his page because I've been watching him for a good 6, 7 years, and I
Yeah.
put that in the comment section. I would go on his live shows and post that there.
Okay,
But
good.
the reason why that's important is because, you know, this whole 18, this magic 18, that's 666. So that's one reason why they
Well,
picked that.
Well,
Go ahead.
they're also Masonic numbers too. There was this really good thing that I found, and I can't find it again. I can't explain it well because I don't remember it, but I remember some of it. It's like 18 is 666, and then they say 21. The age 21 is 7, so it's completion. It had something to do. It was something crazy, like far out why they have the ages that way. It was so crazy. I wish I gotta find it, but it's crazy, man. It's all Masonic numbers. It's all it is. It
Who's
has
they
something.
though? God is behind the Mason, so he must be doing it for a reason. What is the reason?
Hello?
Yeah, God is doing it. So why do you think he did? Why do you think he did it that way?
I can't hear you
Well, I
that
don't
well.
know. Just uh, well, I'll answer that question. Well, we know God's behind all things, right? So I just like Rich brought out the other day. It's like, well, why did the Lord let people be homosexuals? Matter of fact, I know Brother Polite brought that out,
ETT,
and he asked. Go ahead.
your live stream's like your voice is like really low. It's like I think they're screwing with the live stream.
Are you able to hear me still?
I can hear you fine.
It's your voice is like, I don't know why it's doing that, but
Okay, let me check something real quick.
yeah, I don't know if it's my connection or
Okay, can you hear me again?
yeah.
No,
That's fine. That's
I think it's
perfect.
something on the
Okay.
Waiken feed,
Now,
man. You're fine. There's
okay,
something
I
on
want
your
to answer the question. I want to answer what Mind of God said. Just like Brother Polite brought out with Great Millstone, he said, well, wait a second, then. If homosexuality is wrong, well, why did God make man to be homosexuals then? And it took them a while to get to that answer. But you see, even though the scriptures are completely against that, the Lord allowed them to do that. Right. So the Lord allowed them to do what they're doing, just like with the ISS thing. The Lord doesn't want the earth to be deceived on where they live. Well, in a way he does, but
Mm-hmm.
he allowed them to do what they're doing, so those who can diligently do the research can come to the right answer. But he allowed them to do what they're doing. That's why the scriptures say what the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. And that's why when you go to, what is that, Daniel, I believe that's Daniel 7:25, he shall think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the times and dividing of times, just to answer
Mm-hmm.
that question. So anyway, mind of God, I'll let you respond, and we'll let Wake in Pennsylvania
Yeah,
join
that
it.
was rhetorical. I wasn't trying to challenge you. I just a new vantage point because we sort of brought out verses recently about how the Most High is behind good and evil. So I wasn't trying to challenge you. I just to kind of take a
Oh,
step
it's
back.
cool, man.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand.
But I
Awaken
agree with I
Pennsylvania,
agree
it's
with
on
the
you.
I agree with the fundamental point that you and Awaken are getting at, is that this is what I would recommend for people, even people deep into the Bible. You know, it's okay to start from scratch. You know, even with the Bible, like it's not wrong to purge your views once in a while and just start from scratch. Use common sense. I think you'll find, like us, you know, on this panel. Hopefully, I'm speaking for everybody. Is that once you use common sense, a lot of the Bible truths will make sense. You won't have to really wrestle with them. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's the way it should be. So, you know, I would recommend people do that, and it's good to do that in any aspect of life. You know, not just religious, but yeah, don't listen to what Biden says. Biden's an idiot, dude. Like, he can't even form a complete sentence. So, yeah, don't trust what he says. So,
Right, and you know what's funny as well. I like to bring this point out, which I do want to say. I have to, of course, put the disclaimer out there because you know how guys are. They'll cut clips up and make it look like something it's not. So we're not. Look, if anybody out there goes against the quote unquote, rules of the land they live under, then that's on you. That's not on us because we're not telling anybody to go do nothing. But if you do that, that's on you. But anyway, we're just dealing with the facts, right? The Bible says what it says, nature says what it says, so that's what we deal with because that's the facts. We're not. Matter of fact, real quick, there we go. Can you guys see that banner on there?
you just change it to
Right. This is an
Yahweh,
emotion.
Bahashem, Yahweh
Um,
Shai.
hold on a second. I have a banner. I
Oh,
changed it
emotion
to the
free zone.
emotion free zone. That's what this is here. This is a emotion free zone. So
By the way, dude,
anyway,
I got a bone to pick with you of something you said last time, man.
hey,
You were,
hold on, brother.
yeah,
I'll let you get to that. Let me
yeah.
just first finish my point real quick. Um, it's funny because guys that get on, older men for being attracted to young females, which is a fact that teenage females are sexually attractive. Matter of fact, the Most High Himself has sexual desires towards younger females, and that's in Ezekiel, the 16th chapter. Now, I know it was parabolic of the Lord comparing Israel to a young woman, but the point is, if you read Ezekiel chapter 16, start at verse 7 on down, it clearly describes a young girl becoming a woman, and she became a woman when what? When she hit sexual maturity. So anybody can go read that on their own. And then also King David, when he was old and on his deathbed, they brought him a young woman. That's what is that? First Kings chapter 1 and verse 1. So these cats out here, man, who get all emotional when it comes to this topic, you cats are just, you guys don't know the scriptures and you are going against the scriptures. What is that? Revelation 21 and verse, what is that? I believe it's Revelation 22, 18, 19, right? Any man that takes away from the words of the prophecy of this book, the Lord shall take away his part from out of the book of life. Anyway,
Well,
mind of God, go ahead and throw your. I'll let Waken Pennsylvania respond first.
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Anyways, well, really, the people that get it the worst, that really get ridiculed for it, is just by my observation and many others, but it seems to be that men are the targeted ones, and I wonder why. Because even women, when they see like an older woman with a so-called underage uh, male, they don't really say anything about it, or they laugh about it, or they don't get punished as much as about it. Flip the script, and if a man does it, oh my God, let's get a lynch mob after him. But as I was saying, you can mutilate your genitals and become a different gender, or you can like the same sex. That's normal to most people, even Christians. Like, most Christians will even think that's wrong, but they'll accept homosexuality and they'll accept transgenders.
But
And
we know the reason why they want it to be later in life, because the earlier in life you start thinking on your own, you're independent, you're free, you can't be enslaved. So we know the ultimate reason in these days where 18 and 21 are the magic numbers, because at that point you're essentially indoctrinated into a system that's about a 20% of your life, and you're essentially wired to just be a slave. So that's the reason in the last days. Does that mean that it's right? Of course not. But would you guys agree with that?
Right, right. And I just wanted to throw a little aspect out there on as well as whenever it comes up to this whole situation with an older person being with a young person, they never actually deal with it justly. In matter of fact, say for an example, when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, I was attracted to women who were in their late 20s. And
mm-hmm,
there's nothing wrong with that, right? Sexually attractive women are sexually attractive.
mm-hmm.
Um, But the point I wanted to bring up is they never look at how the young person feels about it. It's all just, if they're under this number, no person under this arbitrary number can be mature enough to engage in this activity. It's all, well, they must have been, forcibly, held against their will if they're under this magic number.
Well,
Nobody ever deals with it justly, and
well,
nobody
ETT,
ever does.
I
And
heard
go ahead.
you had interest in Greta Thunberg. I can't remember who told me that, so I don't know if that's true.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true,
I'm
and
just
I
kidding, dude.
claim
I'm just
her as
messing
my
with
own in the kingdom of
you. You can have her,
Um,
man.
heaven. Anyway,
Nobody
mind of
wants her.
God. Mind of God, go ahead and bring that spiritual shotgun out. Go
Well,
ahead
dude,
and hit me with
I got
a
a
few
slug
slugs.
for you because I don't like. We ended off the last hangout, dude. You're like, I'm soft. I don't want to talk about certain things in the Bible, dude. I'm not afraid of the Bible, man. You should know my channel well enough. It just because I don't want to talk about a particular topic in the Bible, that doesn't mean that I don't agree with it or I won't understand that it's the truth. Everything in the Bible gives us insight into God's infinite character. So you're Biggie, dude. You're the soft one. You have to get on a diet, and kind of get a bit stronger and all that. So I took exception to that, but I have no issues
Hey, look,
talking
man.
about this.
I will admit. I'll let you continue
No,
statement.
I'm
Hey, look,
done.
man.
I'm
I
done.
will admit. I have been hit by a few shells, but I am still walking with ligma inside, Joe.
Dude, you should say inside smoke whenever it's about Deacon, if you're cool with that.
Oh man, right? That damn coon, man. Which, as I said, man, those boys got their ass beat on that subject. Which I will admit, they did bring up a couple good points that
Oh,
I
dude,
do need to
they
address.
did a
I
number
will
on
give
you,
them
man. They did a number on you, man.
that.
They were on their business that day.
Well, I suppose it comes down to a matter of perspective. But anyway, Pennsylvanian, you can go ahead and respond. Which, matter of fact, I do want to say real quick. It's are you from Pennsylvania, man? Because I actually am from that area.
yes, I'm. Let's see if you know. Well, you probably, since you were from Pennsylvania. How long have you lived in Pennsylvania?
I was born there. I moved to Florida for like 11 years, but I was born in Pennsylvania.
I'm from, because no one really knows Pennsylvania, but you might know a little bit. But you were just born there. I'm like about 45 minutes outside of Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Yeah, I believe that was 2 hours, maybe an hour or so away from where I was at. So is that where you're at now?
It's like it's considered. It's like in the Pottstown area.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know where that is, but I do know that Philadelphia is only like an hour away from where I was at.
Yeah, it's like an hour from. It's like a 45 minutes to an hour outside of Philadelphia. I mean, I live in that general. I live in southeastern Pennsylvania, in that general area.
Southeastern, somewhere in Pennsylvania you live in?
Yeah,
Oh
near
yeah.
Philadelphia.
Okay, yeah, man. I just had to ask. But anyway, is there anything you wanted to respond to what we were saying?
Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many topics I want to discuss. And sorry if I'm a little terrible at talking, and I seem to
Hey,
be
you're
like
cool. You're cool, man. You're good. You're good.
like I'm not talking right. This is like my first time going at this, and it's like I'm overwhelmed. There's so many things I want to talk
You're
about, but
doing great, man. No worries.
Hey, you're doing good, man. Hey, look, I'm probably gonna go for another hour or so. So you're good, man. You can bring up as many,
well,
things you want to talk about. Let me just hit the comments real quick, then I'll throw it back to you. Um, let me see. Andre Hamill, I believe the name is, says I just got a book called Aztec. No, let me rephrase that. Celtic
It's called
Astronomy
Zetetic.
by Samuel.
Zetetic, just so you know.
All right. By
Well,
Samuel. Oh damn, I can't pronounce that name.
I'll read it, dude. I'll read it. I
Uh,
just got a book called Zetetic Astronomy by Samuel Robotham, proving with demonstrable experiments that the Earth is flat. Would you believe the first 8 pages are not in the book? He's a flat earther, man.
that's
So
very.
welcome.
Hey, if you want to come on here, man, we got a link up in the chat. If you want to join us, man, you're free to come on here, man. If you want to discuss with us. But anyway, Pennsylvania, it's back to you.
okay, man. As much as I would love, and there's so much more things to bring up about the teenage myth, I want to talk about how messed up the society is in terms of how everything's stacked against you. Um, it's crazy because you know, I think everybody especially here in the United States, I think everybody can live a decent life and a prosperous life, or prosperous. I can't say that word right, but everyone can live a decent life. I just think a lot of things are against people, like college, for example. I think it's ridiculous how much college is, and it's done like that for a reason, because it creates a class system in the United States. Because basically people are at war with each other, you know, through whether it be age or monetary status or race. There's a lot of division here in the United States, and you know, the society is very stacked against you, especially if you're a male, you know, especially if you're a guy, because, you know, feminism's running rampant.
Hey,
Big
hey,
time.
mind of God, can you get that in what is that? Jeremiah the 31st chapter, a woman shall compass a man.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, man, go ahead and continue. Mind of God will get that verse for
I mean,
us.
is this a topic you'd like to talk about, or, you know?
I mean, for a few minutes we can talk about it, man. But yeah, we're all in agreement with you, man, that the
Yeah, I mean,
society is definitely, you know, set up against you, right? It's set up for you to fail. You're not supposed to be able to get ahead in the
no, I
society.
mean, yeah, I mean, if you look at Morgan, there's I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. It's called Super Size Me 2.
I've seen the
I've
first
I've
one.
heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Well, basically, if you watch the second Super Size Me, which is pretty good, it was about the meat industry, particularly the chicken industry. And so basically, the big chicken industries like Purdue, and trying to think of, I don't know the other ones, but Purdue and all them, you know, the chicken uh, manufacturers you see at your typical box grocery store, they basically made it hard through lobbying, through regulations. That's basically what regulations are. Like that movie applied to all industry. Like basically, you have these corporations who lobby that it destroys other businesses, because it makes it very hard for them to enter to starting their own business. You know, that's why regulations and everything. It's not because of safety or stuff like that. It's to create so much money and permits so that it hinders potential competition. And they don't want people,
Right.
and they don't want individuals to be self-independent, you know, to be independent, making their own money. You know,
Right.
they have to have the slaves for the workhouses.
Right.
Because figure that if
Hey,
everyone
have
was,
you?
yeah, what's
Sorry,
up?
sorry to cut you off, man. I just wanted to ask you. Did you ever see the documentary, or I believe it's a movie actually? It's called Food Inc. Have you ever saw that?
I saw parts of it.
Yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, where it's like all the crap in the food, and how, you know, the I don't know if I saw it,
Yeah,
but I saw.
they show you. Yeah, they show you basically, you know, like the mistreatment of the animals, and you know how
Oh
poor they're
yeah,
taking
yeah,
care
I
of it.
did. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, it don't surprise me, man. I mean, the Western diet is so bad for you. Like, it is so filled with sodium and sugar, and that's why so many people have these ailments, dude. I mean, if you look at, like, pick up any food at the box store and read the ingredients, you'd be so shocked how bad it is for you. Like, I tell people all the time, like, just read the ingredients, look at the sodium, look at the sugar, and look at all the freaking chemicals that you can't even pronounce in it. I mean, it's like the list goes on the back of them. I mean, like, dude,
Yeah.
this is food. It's
Yeah.
scary, man. Like, they're literally killing us.
It's not food. It's not food. That's a great point. It is not. Right.
It's not, man. You would be surprised what they get away with, and they put in the food, man. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's so crazy, because, you know, Americans want to make fun of Africans and people in these so-called, you know, third world countries, but they have a better life than most Americans do. They eat better, way better than any American or Westerner does.
Yeah.
They have abundant food, and they actually own their house. Yeah, it may not be like the pretty veneer siding and the pretty lawns like America, but they own it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but
They
they
own
don't
that
have
house.
Instagram. AP, they don't have Instagram, so they're screwed, right? It's crazy, man. It's stupid. I agree with you.
Hey, mind of God, did you find that verse we wanted to
Yeah,
bring
sorry.
out?
I'll read it really quick, AP. Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? Question mark. For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Jeremiah 31:22.
Also says too, I think it's Isaiah 4:1, that 7 women will take hold one man.
Well, now you're gonna get
Yeah,
ETT
yeah. Well,
going
I
down
mean
that road, man.
that's
Really?
yeah, that one's talking about that one's talking about the kingdom because which I'm not sure if you agree, but we teach, well, at least I teach that in the kingdom a man will have multiple different women. But that's another topic of discussion,
That
man. But
that kind
anyway,
of
man, since you go ahead.
that kind of makes sense because I cannot picture that happening here. I mean, women are so, you know, they're so, what's that word I'm looking for? They're so egotistical and they're so uptight that I couldn't even in bad times I couldn't see that happening.
Yeah, yeah. Today, man, hell, I
It's
mean,
done, dude.
once in a while you'll hear a story of a man who has multiple women. Say, I'll say an example. The guy that's named Brother Polite, he has a couple different women. I believe he has 4 or 5 different wives, but he's like a multimillionaire. So that they want that lifestyle because he can afford to take care of them. But yeah, man, that's a one here and far in between example. But yeah, for the most part, man, yeah, here in America, you can't get with more than one woman because that's considered to be, oh, well, you're some type of like cheater if you want to get with another woman
Yeah,
other than who
and
you're married to.
and I found that
Go
like
ahead.
once you're out of high school, it's very hard to find a date. Like, like for me, like once I have like a couple years out of high school, it's very hard to find a date because the women here are so, first of all, they're so prideful, they're so stuck up, they're so arrogant, they're so narcissistic, and you have to do all these things just to get their attention that it becomes. And the thing too is women like, or people in general here in the United States, they like familiarity. So it's very hard to break the ice with like meeting a new girlfriend. It's very hard because she wants to get to know you almost. And a lot of people get dates through like friendship, like her friend knows this guy and then they talked. And like you just can't go up to a
And
girl and just,
hey, I gotta comment real quick. Say for an
yeah.
example, man, my mother, just found a guy that they're now gonna start dating, but she found him through a friend. So hey, that proves your statement. But anyway, I'll throw it back to you and let you continue for a minute or so. But what's another subject you'd like to bring out? Because you said you had a lot of stuff on your mind, so I want to make sure we can address a lot of your stuff.
Well, I do have a lot on my mind, but would you have anything to add? Maybe you got something to throw in because I pretty much agree with everything you say, man.
Well, wait. Don't agree with everything ETT says. Be
Well,
careful.
wait, hold up. I said that in the least. I don't agree with everything you
Okay,
say, but
good.
I agree with most things you say.
Okay, good.
Most.
And I will respect it. I will respect that.
So
I would say
yeah.
ETT and I agree on maybe well over 50%. So that's why
Oh, hey,
we're able to have
mine of God.
conversations.
Mine of God, I have to ask you something
Yeah,
real quick, man, because you said they're going in back to our conversation about Jonah, right? You said that's not a real fish. Can you please pull something up for me real quick?
yeah.
I found this today. Go to Matthew chapter 12 and verse 40 for me. Read that and tell me what you think.
I'll just pull up the whole chapter. Matthew chapter 12.
Yeah, verse 40 though.
Yeah.
So and ETT, what would you like to bring up? I mean, what would you
Um,
like to
I
say?
mean, let's see, man. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we could talk about, man. But what are your thoughts regarding? Let's see, what could we say? What about you think we're in the last days, or what are your thoughts on that?
I certainly would wish we were in the last days. I mean, I certainly do feel. I mean, I personally can't see this world going on any longer.
Good answer. I love it.
I can't. I really can't see this world going on. I mean, look at the movies, man. They're making all remakes. I mean, I don't know what everything's been done. All music genres been, they've been done and been there, done that. I mean, I really the economy's getting worse. The inflation's getting worse. People are getting worse. I really can't see a future. And if there is, man, it's just going to just get worse and horrible. Like I personally can't see this place going on much longer, man.
There is a future, but it's
Hey, man.
Revelation 16. So that's what the Bible says
Right,
is
right. It's
coming.
just plagues and hard time is what's
Exactly.
coming, and we'll talk about that. But first, I want to address this bone to pick with Mind of God. Mind of God, you pull that first up that I had for you.
ETT, you putting me on the hot seat, dude. I'm nervous, man. You
Hey,
don't
hey, hey,
understand, man.
hey, brother. What do you think about that verse?
No,
Go
I
ahead
like
and
it.
read
Let me
that
read
for
it. Let
us.
me read it for the audience so they know what we're talking about. Matthew 12:40. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in a whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth.
So do you agree? Do you now agree that it was a real fish then?
Well, no, you agree that Yahushua was taken away on a so-called UFO, correct?
Well, first, what happened to him was he spent 3 nights in the earth, right? The tomb that they put him in. So that's what that part was talking about before you jump to that. But yes, after that, after he rose on the third day, he was taken away in a UFO. But as far as that verse is going, talking about 3 nights he spent in the earth was talking about when he was in the tomb after he was crucified.
Yeah. So
So
do you
you
believe he came
don't
back
go
in
ahead.
that same body, or what do you believe? Do you believe his spirit, remained, I guess, in that body throughout that 3 days, or what do you understand?
I mean, from my understanding, right after Christ was resurrected,
Yeah.
he did come back because when he went to the apostles, right,
Oh,
some of them did not believe. So what he did to show them that really was him is he showed them the holes in his hands is where the nails went through, and that was after he came back again to reveal himself to his apostles. So I would say yes, it was his real physical body. But anyway, going back to what we're talking about,
yeah.
do you agree that it was a real fish then? Because it literally said it was a whale.
No, I mean those are descriptive terms for UFOs. Again, I don't know. Is it possible that he could do that? Yeah, I mean God can do anything. So, but yeah, I believe that language is used to describe underwater UFOs, and then, well, all the UFOs that are in the sky can go underwater as well. So I would believe that would
Okay,
be symbolic language. Yeah.
all right, all right. I'll accept that answer.
But
Let's talk about
you
this,
also
man.
mentioned a verse
Go ahead.
about hell in what you posted on my channel. Was that in here as well? Was this about hell as well?
Yes, yes. There was a verse. I don't remember off the top of the head, but if you can go to that comment, if you can read that for me, we can discuss that real quick because that was one I just found today. Because I'm going over the book of Matthew again, so I found both of those skippies. I found them both today. So if you want to go over that with me real quick, I'll respect that.
Let me find it. AP can talk, or you guys can do that while I.
Yeah, yeah. So Awaken Pennsylvania. What one did how did you stumble across my channel, man? Was it from our Google Hangouts or?
I'm trying to think how I did stumble upon your channel. Hmm. I think I was just like looking for like, I was, I look through truther channels. I look up a lot of people that have like similar mindsets like me. And somehow you just came up and I started listening to your channel. I'm like, wow, this guy gets it. Um,
Yeah. This guy has to be the notorious Big. Just messing with
Don't
you.
say that, man. You're gonna
well,
make his ego go out of control, dude. So
well,
be careful.
again, I'm not saying I agree with 100% of what ETC says, but I do agree with, as I said, I agree with most of his beliefs,
That's cool.
or what he says. And it's crazy because it's hard to believe that somebody out there has the same thoughts, like are the same similar views on life like I do, and it's very hard to find those type of people in real life.
Yeah,
you know
agreed.
you walk out there and it seems like nobody really deeply thinks. It's just hard to find people. Everyone just takes everything as it is, and they don't question life. They don't question, why am I working 80 hours a week, or why
Right.
am I being taxed for everything, or why is this law this way and this is not, and no one questions it. Like, everyone just goes about their day, and they blindly live like slaves. There's a saying goes
Hey,
that, yeah,
just
what's up?
like sorry to cut you off, man. Sorry to cut you off. But hey, man, as I said, hey, you're welcome to join us anytime, man. Hey, we're your family here, brother. Even though we might not see the eye to eye, you're most certainly welcome on here anytime, man.
That,
But hey, man, all I can say is, hey, welcome to the Matrix. That's all I can say is, hey,
yeah, right.
we gotta relearn everything that we have been told. Don't believe anything that you have been taught in school. Don't believe any of that nonsense. We
I
gotta
agree.
be
Start from scratch.
re-educated. Yep.
Well,
So, mind of God, you had something you wanted to bring out, or
No, I didn't want to interrupt. I agree with you, man. Start from scratch. That's wise.
Well, it's crazy too, because I always had like this. I've always questioned life, even when I was really little. I've always questioned things. But it was kind of hard because back when I was little, the internet wasn't. I didn't have internet till I was like, so I was like 13. So, going through, even as like a little kid, like when I was like 5, 6 years old, I knew, I always questioned things, but the people around me were just like, oh, just go with it. You're
Yeah,
crazy.
that's a bad idea. Even us talking about America being judged, that's like hate speech. You know, it's like, but what do you like? What do you mean of any of
Hey,
the
hey.
places that need it? Sorry. Yep.
Oh yeah, mine. I got. I'll let you finish your statement, but then I did want to say something when you're done. So go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, even that language amongst quote unquote Christians would be enough to get us, made into an enemy or somebody evil and all that. But that's that it's deserving of that for all the reasons that we've talked about and many, many more. I think we could literally do a Tony 12-hour live stream talking about the judgments that America deserves. We could go for 24 hours in a row, easily fill that up.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, man. As I was gonna say, I don't know if you noticed about me, but I've been on YouTube for probably about, well, doing my teachings. I've been doing it for about 5 years now. It's gonna be in a couple months. It'll be 5 years that I've been teaching on here. But what happened to me 3 years ago, right, is I was out there, doing my teaching that I usually do, which one of you might have saw this story. I told it before, but my family drove by and they saw me out there. It's like, what the hell are you doing? So that started a problem. But anyway, they put me in a mental institution and they found my channel. So the
Jeez.
Lord, the Lord literally put that fire under my ass, for lack of better words. But that's what the scriptures say. Hey, my son, if you come to serve the Lord, you better prepare your soul for temptation.
Right.
But hey, I had to go through that, and they found everything that I'm teaching. But hey, you know what? Screw them. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. In fact, right now I am out here sitting in the car. They don't know what the hell I'm doing. They think I'm on the phone with a female or something. But this is just what you have to go through. Hey, every man's lot is different. But anyway, mine, I got off roll back to you.
Well, I'll read the verse that we talked about, and it's when I heard that story on your videos, it reminded me of the days growing up where I would sit, underneath my bed covers with a flashlight reading the Bible. It's amazing to think about coming from then till now, and it's definitely a gift. All the things that we know, the scriptures are meant to comfort us. We're not here to flex on people. Don't just know that, me and ETT, we have our beef about doctrine, but the Bible is meant to be comforting to people. Okay, we're not getting money for this or anything. We're not doing it for that or likes or super chats or anything like that. So, but the
Yeah,
verse,
yeah, right.
yeah,
Sorry to cut you off, mine, God. I'll let you continue, but I just wanted to say this, man. Hey, look, I'll be the first to tell you. Even though I'll sit up here and hey, the scriptures say what? The knowledge puffs up, right? So I'm puffed up that I know more than everyone else around me. But I'll be the first to say, man, I'm not shit in this world, man. I ain't shit. I don't have any money. I don't have a car. I don't have anything. But you know what? That's okay, because that's my lot. All right. In this world, I'm nobody, and I accept that. That's just what it is. But hey, that's just the walk that we have to have. The scriptures speak about, follow not the world, right? Follow not the multitude of people. So that's the
right.
path that we've been set out on. So might have got, I'll let you continue.
I would say one truth in the Bible is worth so much money, man. Like it's amazing. But here's one that ETT and I agree on, even though I have a bit of like cosmetic differences on hell. Matthew 11:23, and now Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done into thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. So, what was your question on that?
Hold on a second.
Hey,
Is that? Can you read that verse again, just so I can get the context?
Yeah. So Matthew 11:23, ETT was challenging me on, what does this have? How does this fit into my understanding and teaching on hell? And now Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee have been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day.
Right, right. Now, the reason why I brought that up is that's another verse I would use to show we'll see hell can also mean a condition of suffering, because I do agree that hell is the earth. However, as my teaching is, there's multiple verses, and now we have three of them that I can say, well, this one, just like going back to, what is that, Psalms 19 and 17, or Psalms 9 and 17, right? The wicked nations that forget the Lord shall be turned into hell, right? So this one that we just read in Matthew, they clearly connect together, in the sense of what they mean about, see, it's a place of a condition of suffering. So what are your thoughts on that one?
Well, I mean, the leaders of that place that are going to get judged. You believe that they're again here on this earth, right? through reincarnation?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
11 plus 23 is 34, right? 444 FFF 666. This is where numerology helps a little bit. So that group is going to be reincarnated now into the final days, and then they're going to experience hell, which, like we both agree, will be cast into the lake of fire in the last days. And so this is saying here that that group that has puffed themselves up and gone against the law, against, not accepting Christ's miracles, or seeing a lot of them and still not accepting it, God's like, I got something special for you. Okay, but they're going to wait till the last days. And so that leadership could be leading America right now. We don't know, or China or Japan or something. But yeah, then they're going to be thrown into hell, which is the lake of fire. And so, yeah, it's the earth.
Okay,
Hey,
okay. I'll take that. Go ahead.
hey, ETT, I'm gonna be heading out soon. So,
Yeah, yeah, man. What's your topics you want to bring before you go?
um, well, I gotta go now. So, I mean, I would love to, but I gotta get going soon. So,
Okay, okay. That's cool,
but
man.
hey,
That's cool. But hey, man, you're welcome back anytime, man. I'm probably gonna. I try to do the streams every day now, at least once a day, or I might have to skip a day or whatever. But hey, man, just put on that notification bell, man, and you're welcome to come on with us anytime we're on. All right.
hey, man, it was a pleasure talking to you and Mind of God, man. I mean, it was a great chat. I definitely plan on doing this more.
Enjoyed it, man.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
man.
sounds good, man. That's all cool.
All right, guys, you have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.
Anybody who doesn't like America, you're welcome here. Like we're not going to agree on everything, but if you do not like America and its practices, pull up a chair. I'll say that. Like I'm sure ETT will agree with me. Pull up a chair because we do not like this place.
All right. Mind of God, you still on me with there, man?
Yeah.
Okay. Here,
I,
bear with me just a second. All right. Mind of God, you able to hear me?
yeah, now I can. You're back, man.
All right. Yeah, yeah, man. Sorry about that. I something happened where I hit the wrong button, man. But anyway, I did send a link out to Ridge, and we'll see if we can get him on here. And then I had another brother out there. I believe he called himself Ben Israel or something like that. He wanted to jump on the show. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't. I've never even not familiar.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, man, go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything to say. I was just chilling. Well, but sorry, what I said when you were dealing with your tech issues is that I don't know if you heard that part. I'm like, if anybody in the chat or in general does not like America and its practices, then you probably will, we'll have a good discussion because we don't like it. So we'll have certain things in common. So AP Awaken Pennsylvania has that spirit. So, pull up a
Yeah,
chair.
yeah, that brother's cool, man. As I said, we might not all see eye to eye, and I don't know if he's on, I don't know if he agrees with the whole flat Earth or not, but I wanted to bring it up to him, but he had to go a little early, and that's cool. I'll bring it up next time, man. But I did talk to what's that cat? The Zealots of Israel, I believe they're called, they're basically a break off of the Sakari camp. I asked him a question, do you believe in the flat Earth? And he responds and says, "Oh, that's all BS." So I was on there and I asked him, hey, well, how about join me on a stream in the future? And he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." So maybe we'll bring that brother on in the future. You know who that is?
No, I don't. I was going to tell you a story though about something, but no, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. We
Well, I was
got
going to tell
time.
you about a bit of my history with the Good Samaritans. Like the Hebrew Israelite group affiliated with Tried and Refined. Do you know much
Yeah,
about
yeah.
those guys?
I've heard of them, but I don't know a whole lot about them.
Dude, I wish I had some of my old hangouts because I used to go on Avenger for Yahushai's hangouts. This is years ago, and he would host these kind of things, and then Trident for Find would show up, and then Good Samaritan INOP would show up on those, and so I kind of got into an email, just friendly with him and asking about the flat Earth, and he at that time was like, yeah, the Earth is flat, and that might have been one of the reasons why he left GMS, and then started his own thing, but um, it's just amazing to me, man, like how all these groups have just sort of like faded away, and I just think that that's so weird, in the times that we live in now. Like you would think like people would be doing like live stream after live stream after live stream with what's going on in the world, right? It's just
Yeah,
weird,
yeah.
man. So
Hey,
he might still be. I don't want to say that he's not sincere or anything, but I used to follow his channel and try to refine like all the time, and like they just kind of went away, which is kind of weird.
yeah, yeah. I was just about to bring those guys up, man, because I remember, those guys, they were on fire, doing a lot, but then you know, they just went away. And matter of fact, I know they put up a video, I believe 6 months ago or something. They put up a video, but now they're pretty much not doing much right now. And it's like, I mean, damn, in the time that we're in, I would expect guys to be on fire for this troop, man.
Right, exactly.
And I want to be doing more. I think I should be doing more. But hey, you know, all of us have our own lot to fulfill, I suppose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but yeah, it's amazing, man. Like he mentions it in a video that I saw of him recently, and I think he's starting to go into some strange teachings. He started talking about Project Bluebeam and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, no, dude, what's going on? Like, I'm not saying the government can't pull off Project Bluebeam, but we got to also stick to the scriptures, what we know is going to happen. No doubt they could pull off some stunts like that, but I just think it's strange, man. This is such a good time to be in the Bible for those people that
Right, right.
hear this.
And man, and then we can segue on to two other topics I did want to bring up. I mentioned one of them to you before about the dinosaur thing, but to me it just seems like a lot of guys, man, are they'll believe any conspiracy and any conspiracy it's put out there. And don't get me wrong, I like my conspiracies, right? I mean, hell, I believe the Earth is flat, but you know, like the guys are out there saying, "Oh, well, nuclear bombs don't exist." I mean, that's crazy to say
Really?
that. I mean, hell,
Yeah.
those are in the Bible. The nuclear missiles, that's in the Bible.
Let me get it while you're
So
talking
what are
about it.
you?
Let me get it while you're
Yeah,
talking
yes,
about it.
yeah, man. So like what's that cat? Eric Dubay. He's on there talking about, oh well, nuclear weapons that doesn't exist. Even Eddie Bravo, which I like Eddie Bravo. I got to watch some more of his shows. But he's even on there saying that, that these
Jeez.
weapons, don't exist. It's like, well, wait, and then one of the proofs that they bring up is, well, I've never seen one. So see, that proves it doesn't exist. It's like, okay, well, I've never been to Madagascar, or I've never been to a NASCAR race. But does
Yeah.
that mean it doesn't exist just because I have not been there? No. So anyway, man, I'll throw the mic back to you.
Well, dude, I like how you rhyme Madagascar with NASCAR. I don't know if you want if you're doing the Biggie thing or you're doing the ETT thing.
Hey,
That's
hey,
sick.
man, I didn't even plan that out. It just came out.
Let me read Jeremiah 50 verse 9. They're the nuclear, whatever you want to call them, weapons that are hot. Okay, whatever you want to call them. Okay, they're in the Bible. Jeremiah 50 verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence they shall be taken. Their arrow shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. How can you have a arrow not return in vain unless you have modern day technology? Somebody answer me that. Okay. This
Hey,
is
I got a verse here I want to read, man. Hey, we're flowing through the spirit right here, man. I want to read this, but why I do that, go ahead and get me Revelation chapter 17 and go to start at verse 15, but we're gonna read on down to the last verse.
okay.
Anyway, this is Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. And listen to this, and anybody in the comment board, I dare you to tell me this isn't talking about nuclear weapons. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherein the Lord will smite all the people who have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Clearly, this is talking.
I think you just dropped ETT.
Second, can you hear me?
Now you can. It just dropped for a second.
Okay. Okay. You got that verse I wanted to bring out?
Yeah, but you were talking about the whole like burning of the sockets, the eye sockets or whatever. That's an important one.
Right. Let me see. Did it pick up me reading it,
No, I
or
think
did
it
it?
just missed that, and I think it's important. If you want me to read it, I can get it, but it'd be
Yeah,
good for
yeah. It
them.
might be better for you because it might click away or take me off when I go on it
What
myself.
is it
So you
again?
can
Sorry,
read that.
Zechariah. What was that you were quoting?
Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12.
Okay. And for people who are into the numerology, that's 26. Okay, 66.
Yeah, and just to throw this out there, sorry to cut you off,
Yeah.
man, but just throw it out there. I see we got 5 people watching us live. I mean, hey, if anybody got any questions or any points of contention, or just wants to have a civilized discussion, you are free to click that link and to join us on the show. But anyway, mind of God, you can continue.
Yeah, Zechariah 14:12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Okay, that's not a bonfire. Okay, that's doing that. I'm sorry. So no.
You got that that skip G in Revelation the 17th chapter?
Yeah, you want me to start at
Start
14?
at verse start at 15 and we'll read down.
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And this woman which thou sawest is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Right. So the reason I bring this out is it's like, well, wait a second. It says the beast, which the beast is an assembly of nations, right? NATO and the EU. It's like, well, wait a second. How are they going to come against America and burn her with fire? Obviously, this is talking about weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, that's not from God, by the way, for people to understand. Jeremiah and Revelation is not destruction from Christ, and his angels. It's from the other nations. So that's what it is. So that has to
Right.
be.
Another good one. Matter of fact, man, can you go ahead and get Jeremiah chapter 54 and verse 16?
Yep.
Right. But these guys are still going to be on there like, but I mean, I never saw one for myself. So that means it doesn't exist.
Well, you're going to see one when it's too late. That's the problem. We don't want you to see it when it's too late. So
Yeah. And sadly, a lot of guys are going to find out the hard way, man.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the Jeremiah what again? Sorry, ETT?
Jeremiah chapter 54 and verse 16.
I don't know if there's that many books in Jeremiah, unless I'm typing this wrong.
Yeah,
maybe it's 52.
Let me try to pull it up on mine.
That's fine. The issue too with that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. It was Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16. My bad.
That's fine.
I got it here. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that blows the coal in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument of his work, and I have created the waster to destroy."
Yeah, exactly. That's
Right.
What do you think? What are these nations doing? You think they're just sitting around, goofing around? Are you kidding me? Like, what are they using that money for if they're not making powerful weapons? Really? Come on.
Right. And these weapons are being made to be used. They're not just going to be sitting in those silos forever. These weapons are eventually going to be used. And the main place that they're going to shoot these arrows, because in the scriptures it refers to them as arrows.
Right.
which might have got, if you got any of those verses, you can pull that out. I believe there's actually one in what is that? Second Ezra is the 16th chapter. I believe there's a reference to it in.
Well, I just read
Um,
Jeremiah 50 verse 9. That'll explain it. That's the best one that I know. Jeremiah 50 is a great chapter for that. I can read it again if you
right,
want.
right. Yeah, that's fine. You can get that. And another good one to throw out there would be what is that? Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, "What for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments that are rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and with fuel of fire." Right. So that's what's coming. Okay, and that's what we're out here to warn the people of.
Yeah,
Okay, is there
exactly.
is a judgment day coming. That's why you have that movie. What is it? The Terminator, right? Judgment Day. And what happened in that movie? You saw Sarah Connor. She was holding on to that fence, and when that nuclear heat hit her,
Yeah,
she literally got turned into a damn skeleton, man.
right.
So I mean, it shows you, man, the Lord isn't playing around anymore. The
No.
Most High Yahweh Baha Shem Yahweh Shai is not playing around with America anymore.
Let me get a good one for you, ETT, that the Hebrews and you bring out a lot. Sorry, I'll just take me a second here. But
Yeah, take
yeah,
your time, man.
yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we're not trying to scare people. It's like either this is going to happen or it's not. Okay. So, and it's not him and it's not ETT and I that came up with this idea. Okay. We're going to make nuclear weapons or come on. So, it was time to get with the program for all the sincere people out there.
Right, right, because this is a very serious thing. Matter of fact, the scriptures say, "What by the fear of the Lord we persuade men." Right, so that's what we're out here doing. Matter of fact, we're taking time out of our day, to make these videos and put them out on YouTube. Why? To warn the people so that you can listen and take heed, because this is coming very soon. So anybody that takes the thing, okay, anybody that gets this thing, right? Which I gotta watch the words I use.
Yep.
And we
Yep.
can even go into that. We can go into that when you're done bringing this out. What is
Let
that?
me read this
Revelation
one,
the
dude.
14th
You'll
chapter.
like this one,
Go
man.
ahead.
Here's the deal with us, okay, people, for what ETT was talking about with his struggles with his family and what we all have gone through to get here, right? We
Right.
at this time we need to want this, okay? The rest of the world, your parents, your wife, your kids may not want this, okay, because it's scary. But this is the time where I know that it's weird for people because it's like it's a strange thing. Okay, you want the very land that you're standing on. I live in a high rise. This thing has to be burned, okay, for the Bible to be true. So it's okay for us to want this. It's a righteous thing, okay? I'm going to read 2 Peter 3:10-13. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also, and also the works that are in, shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens shall be on fire. Sorry, so the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt. So the actual elements will be destroyed. Nevertheless, we, according to this promise, look for the new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. We should want this to happen desperately. Okay.
Right, right. Absolutely. Amen to God. That was a beautiful scripture to bring out. Hey, the spirit's on this brother here. But
Well, I
but
think
hey,
we're in that time, man. We
go
see
ahead.
it. You and I see it. You've seen it probably longer than I've seen it, but we see it, man. It's coming. It's coming, people.
Right, right. And it's very clear, man, what's going on. In fact, I'll say this. I mentioned this before, but I had a dream, a few years ago, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, about, America becoming the lake of fire. Basically, what happened was I was in a city, right, New York City, and well, let me rephrase myself. I was sitting in the bed and I was looking at the TV set, and on the TV set you saw New York City burning on fire, and the caption said what? America the lake of fire on it. And I remember that image in my head to this very day. And that's what we're
Jeez.
warning the people of. Okay, as America, which is Mystery Babylon the Great, is
Yeah.
going to become that lake that burns with fire. Right? That's why the scriptures say what? That the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn and stand afar off when they see the smoke of her burning, right? Because America is going to be turned into a lake of
Double.
sulfur, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
anybody who's over on this landmass who does not receive salvation, they're going to become ash, right? They're going to be disintegrated, and this is the judgment of the Lord here. This
Yeah.
is the day that comes. The scriptures. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. And as I said, hey, look, I have more lines than a Zigger's cake tree. Malachi 4 and 1, for behold, the day comes that shall burn like an oven. Right, and that day is coming. Right, the day that shall burn like an oven, that day is coming.
Yeah,
Okay, so
without a
anybody
doubt.
that's not going to be prepared for it, that, hey, as the old saying goes, your ass is grass. Go
Let
ahead,
me
man
read
of God.
both of those. Let me read both of those. Well, I like that, man. Malachi 4 and 1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. God is going to absolutely annihilate this place. Another good one is Zephaniah 1:18. Neither their silver nor their gold. In modern day, you could say your Bitcoin or your Federal Reserve note, whatever you want to say. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of them that dwell in the land. God's going to do this. It's a joke for him. Okay. Like it's not even an issue. Okay. So anybody who's trusting in their job or your whatever, your car, your government, don't do that, man. Don't make that mistake. God has never been playing around from the get-go, and he's definitely not playing around in the last days.
Right, right. And one part of the thing that's hard for us is, we got to remember that, we can't take this life seriously because everything that we possess, all of our worldly possessions, our house, our cars, our collectibles, whatever that might be, all of this is going to be burned up. All
Yeah.
of this is going to be burned. That's why when you go to, which you can get this if you want, I believe it's Matthew, the 7th chapter, it speaks about, put up for yourself treasures in heaven, right? Not storing up treasures on earth. Okay, which that doesn't mean you're not supposed to, having wealth is wicked. It's not saying that. But we're not supposed to, be looking to build ourselves up in this society. We're looking for what? As Elder Apostle Har said, we're looking for this man to come down and for us to come up, right? That's what we're looking for, is for this man to come out of power. And through that, we're going to come up into power. Go ahead,
Yeah.
man of God.
I'll read that one while you're talking. I'm just gonna get it
Okay.
real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine.
that's a good
Yeah.
this is why the amazing thing about the Bible for a lot of people who are sad or depressed, or you don't have to be as depressed as T-Mog, but it's like you can use that to your advantage. Now we can all use that to our advantage because we don't have that much to lose. Maybe you don't have anything to lose, and then so we do the little bit that we can here and there and try and honor God. Matthew 6:19-21, lay up not for yourselves treasures upon earth where moth and rust doth corrupt, wherein thieves break through and steal. And that's also prophetic, by the way, for people to understand. There's going to be a time of great tribulation, and starting right now, where people are going to just steal and it's a joke. I saw a video recently. People are going into stores in San Francisco and just walking out. Like they just go in, take it, and then they just leave, and they can't stop them. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also.
Right, right. And that's the time that we're coming into now. We're coming into some serious times here. That's why what is that? Daniel the 12th chapter, right? A time of trouble such as was never before. Right. And that's the time that we're coming into. Mind of God, can you go ahead and get what is that? That's second Ezra's the 9th chapter.
Yeah.
And you start I believe the first verse. That's all pretty good.
One of our friends said this. I can't remember when, but he said, "This is it." So
Yeah. Rooney McNutt. Hey, before he took his own life, his last words were like, "Hey guys, this is it." And then 2 seconds later, that cat, his head split like a damn watermelon. And not to make fun of the guy, but it's crazy, man. Go ahead.
dude, he died at 33. Did you see that in the news thing? I looked it up. So of course he had to die
Yeah,
at 33. Really? Sorry, where in Second Ezra 9? Man, I love Second
I
Ezra,
believe
dude.
you can start at the first verse. It's been a while since I brought that.
Okay. Yeah. So this is absolutely Second Ezra for people out there. It's man, you got to get into this book because it gives so many more details about the last days and how crazy it's going to be. Let me quickly scan it.
Yeah, it should be the one that talks about when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, the Lord shall be visited in the world. They're paraphrasing the verse. It should be something like that. Or it might be the wrong chapter, so luck you.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I went into to that verse, but that's a great
it's in
one.
9. It's in 9. Yeah, I'll find it. Second Ezra.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I had a feeling it was in that one.
Yeah, this should be in the Bible, First and Second Ezra. Are you kidding me? It's so important.
And mind of God, you know what's funny? Real quick, not to cut you off, but
Mhm.
guys are out there saying one reason why the Apocrypha is not true is well because there's no prophecy in the Apocrypha.
There's no what? Sorry.
They
Oh, there's
say
no
there's no
prophecy.
prophecies.
Oh my
Yep.
God, dude. No, I found it in Judith. I found it here, of course, but I'll just read it from the top, and then you tell me when you want me to stop. Second Ezra 9. He answered me and said, "Measure carefully in your mind, and when you see that some of the predicted signs have occurred, then you will know that it is the very time when the Most High is about to visit the world that He has made." Every time I read that, I get like goosebumps. So when there shall appear
Right.
in the world earthquakes, tumults of people, intrigues of nations, wavering of leaders, confusion of princes. Are you kidding me? You can't. People are telling me that that's not right now. Look at Biden; he can barely even like say a sentence. Then you will know that it was of these that the Most High spoke from the days that were of old, from the beginning. For just as everything that has occurred in the world, the beginning is evident and the end manifest. So also are the times of the Most High. The beginning are manifest in wonders and mighty work, and the ends, listen to this, in penalties and in signs. Wow.
Right. And that's the time that we're coming to right now, all my brothers out there. So, a lot of you brothers out there, man, who are new, like our one brother, which I wanted to bring him on the show with us, but I'm not sure he might be watching because I know we got 5 people watching us right now. But the one brother, Desan, he was on there like, what should I do, when they come to my house and present me with this thing. And all I can tell the brother is, hey man, well, just like what's that cat? What's that? Oh damn, what's that guy's name? Um, damn, I can't think of it. There's a guy on YouTube, but he was like, "Hey, just don't open the door."
That's what Call for
But
an Uprising sometimes says, or some. I'm like, that's ridiculous, dude.
right, right. But hey, we don't know what the hell to expect at this point anymore. I mean, hell, and it seems like any day and every single day there's something new that's popping off.
Agreed.
Hey, just like the horse says, man, and this could be a future stream, man. We might need to do this. These prophecies are popping off like popcorn,
Yeah,
right?
big
These
time.
prophecies are coming to pass every single day. So, you guys out there, man, like ITR, right? The Israelites Tried and Refined. Those brothers are weak, man. I mean, you can't see what's going on in the world around us, but yet you're gonna be lukewarm. Those guys, hey, we
Jeez.
got to use them as an example of how we are not to be in
Right.
these times. Those guys lost the oil, as Tahar would say.
You know
But
what's crazy,
we
ETT? We
just
could keep a
go ahead.
live stream running all day and just refresh our news feed and talk about prophecy. That's the times that we live in now. You could literally sit the entire day and just talk about what happened. Oh, okay, this is the next thing. Okay, oh, this is the next thing. It's that kind of thing, like that they're moving quickly. They, in quotes, we know ultimately God is behind this. They're not slowing down. Okay, I just mirrored a video. They just ordered America just ordered 200 million jabs. Okay, do you think they're ordering those just to sit in some museum somewhere for everybody to look at? Are you kidding me? They just ordered those today. So where do you think those things are going?
Right,
Not
right. So as I
ETT,
said, all
but the
my
people out there.
y- right, right. So as I said, all my brothers out there who are listening, you know, we're in some serious times right now, my brothers. Very soon, without conforming to the everything, the guidelines out there, which I got to ask mine of God something about that in a second. But if we don't conform with their ways, very soon you're not going to be able to interact in this society if without going along with this thing out there. So this is some serious times right here, my brothers. Our lives are really on the line here. But anyway, mine again, I did want to ask you, did you see that video I sent you where Larkin Rose was making fun of the
Yeah,
community guidelines?
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I just think he's not a Bible person per se. Is he? Is he more of just like a social
Let me say
commentary?
this. He did a video about evolution. Somebody asked him. He said he doesn't subscribe to the Bible, but he doesn't throw it out the window though. He will say he's on the fence.
He reminds me a little bit of Dollar Vigilante because they bring out truth, but they're not, they talk about the Bible a little bit, but they don't go full Bible, but they teach you
Right.
a lot of things about the deception. But no, I mean, I think it's good. Like it's like, it's obvious now. That's what I think for people, man. Like it's such a good time for Bible people because the truth of the Bible, I mean, I don't know how much more obvious it could be. It's amazing.
Right, man. But hey, all I can say, man, is we're in some serious times right now. And I mean, we say that every day, but it cannot be said enough how serious the things are right now. Because hey, look, going back to what everything Christ told us, right? And we can bring this up. We can go into Matthew the 24th chapter because I'm going to wrap it up in like 20 minutes here, so we can,
Yeah, that's
end
cool.
off the show on that if you want to pull that up. But everything that Yahushua told us to be looking out for, we're seeing all of those things happen, and we've been seeing it over the years. But
Yeah,
this year, we've been seeing all of it. Literally every single day, nothing but constant prophecy. These prophecies are popping off the page like popcorn at this point.
dude.
A matter of fact, it might
Can I shoot a
go ahead.
spiritual slug at the 501c3 Christian Church if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Here's a slug for you 501c3 bird brains. Second Ezra 9:7. It shall be that all who will be saved and will be able to escape on account of, listen to this, of their works. Okay? That's it. Let me read that again for people who maybe missed it. Second Ezra 9:7. It shall be that all who will be saved and will be able to escape on account of their works or on account of the faith by which they have believed will survive the dangers that have been predicted and will see my salvation in my land and within my borders, which I have sanctified for myself from the beginning. Okay, so these are the chosen. Then those who have now abused my ways shall be amazed, and those who have rejected them with contempt shall live in torments. For as many as did not acknowledge me in their lifetime, though they received my benefits, and as many as scorned my law while they still had freedom and did not understand but despised it, while an opportunity of repentance was still open to them, these must in torment acknowledge it after death. Therefore, do not continue to be curious about how the ungodly will be punished, but inquire about how the righteous will be saved, those to whom the age belongs and for whose sake the age was made. So everybody is going to ultimately acknowledge the God of the Bible one way or the other. We don't want you to have to acknowledge it the hard way. That's it.
Hey, let me say this, man. What you just brought out here, hey, look, somebody call the ambulance because the Christian church just got laid out cold. Somebody call the ambulance
In the first
inside, church.
verse, dude, listen to this. Let me read it again. The first verse. It shall be that all who will be saved and will be able to escape on the account of their works. So it's what it is. Like,
Oh
it's
man.
important. Like, God definitely cares. And the cool thing about the times that we live in now, it's actually not that hard to honor God because we just do the opposite of whatever the government says. So it's like
Hey,
whatever they say.
not even maximum protection body armor could save them from that spiritual slug that you
Yeah.
just shot with them from that spiritual shotgun, man.
That
Damn.
that's worse than what Ronnie went through, what I just did. Rest in peace,
Right.
Ronnie. Right. Yeah. That's Second Ezra's to me for people, man. I'm gonna read it again soon. It is like these words are so powerful, man. How can you not read this and understand that this is from God? Really? It's amazing, man.
Right. I mean, hell, even Christ himself, which I don't have the verse off the top of the head, but even Christ himself quoted directly out of the Apocrypha, and so did Matthew. Quoted from it because if you go to Matthew the 7th chapter, the 13th verse, talking about the straight gate, that's in Second Ezra's. Matter of fact, can you go ahead and get that Second Ezra's chapter 7?
Yeah. And also I think in Joshua they quote Jasher, right? So
I believe so. Yes.
yeah, in that verse
Yeah,
that we
yeah, they
read
do.
last
They do.
time. So
Right.
sorry, what was the one you wanted me to read? The Second
Second
Ezra's what?
Ezra is the 7th chapter, and we can start at the first verse.
Okay. When I had finished speaking, this is Second Ezra 7. Okay, they refer to him in this text as Ezra, but this is new Revised Standard Version. Second Ezra 7:1. When I had finished speaking these words, the angel who had been sent to me on the former nights was sent to me again. He said to me, "Rise, Ezra, and listen to the words that I come to speak to you." I said, "Speak, my Lord." And he said to me, "There is a sea set in the wide expanse, so that it is deep and vast, but it has an entrance set in a narrow place, so that it is like a river. If there are those who wish to reach the sea to look at it," is this what you wanted for ATT or?
Yeah, what version are you reading out of? The King James?
No, this is New Revised Standard Version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little different in the King James, but basically it's a parable speaking about the kingdom, but in order to get there, there's It's a parable of how it's a narrow path. Only one man can go on this at once. On the right hand, there's going to be trouble. On the left hand, there's going to be troubles. Right. So Matthew got the inspiration for writing Matthew 7:13 from this chapter here, and the King James says it a little bit different than this one. But that's cool,
Yeah.
man. You can continue if you want.
Yeah, I'll just kind of skip to verse 10. I think this will get the gist of it. I said, "That is right, Lord." He said to me, "So also is Israel's portion, for I made the world for their sake." Okay, so that tells you what is being talked about in John 3:16. Let me read that again. I said, "That is right, Lord." He said to me, "So also is Israel's portion, for I made the world for their sake. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, what had been made was judged. And so the entrances of this world were made narrow and sorrowful and toilsome. They are few and evil, full of dangers and involved in great hardships. But the entrances
Hey,
of the great,
hey.
yeah,
After that, go ahead and get Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 56.
okay. I'll just read up to 14. I think this will be good. But and so the entrances of this world
Okay.
were made narrow and sorrowful and toilsome. They are few and evil, full of dangers and involved in great hardships. But the entrances of the greater world are broad and safe and yield the fruit of immortality. Therefore, unless the living pass through the difficult and futile experiences, they can never receive those things that have been reserved for them. That's in verse 14. That's for God's elect. And so that's the reward, to go through all these, like it says here, difficult and futile experiences. There are rewards that were already set for the faithful. Sorry, TT, what was that next one? 56?
Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 56.
Okay. And as for the other nations that have descended from Adam, you have said that they are nothing and that they are like spittle, and you have compared their abundance to a drop in a bucket.
Right. So these verses here show what? That the Lord is only concerned with his people, right? The Lord said, "Hey, to hell with the multitude of people that are not part of this thing," right? All those people are on that broad path that leads to destruction, right? So we're not to follow the world, and all these people out here that are not, following after, this book here, right? Let all those perish. Let all these people in the world perish, because the Lord's only concerned with his elect here. Anyway, mine, I got off road. Back to you.
Yeah, I like it, and like the way I view it is that even if I'm not in that group, I'm going to try and model these behaviors. What God's not going to get mad. Oh, wait, you tried to honor the Bible. Oh, I'm going to be pissed at you. Really? Are you kidding me? That's not what the God of the Bible is about. So, we don't have to necessarily be all these exalted positions, to have these words vibrate, resonate with us. And it's fun. Honestly, this is fun when you get into the Bible, because it's comforting. So let it comfort you. Not ETT. I'm talking about anybody listening. It comforts
Right.
us.
Yeah, man. Anyway, we'll end the show off with Matthew the 24th chapter. We'll get a lot. There's a lot of stuff in there that's going on right now.
Yeah, agreed. It's amazing.
And I mean, hell, man. Hey, look, when I get off this stream, I'm just gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna get into them skip G's. I'm gonna get into them skip G's again, because that's what we got to be doing. That's what we find as fun time is getting into these scriptures and getting a greater understanding. Because that's why the scriptures say what? It says what? Blessed is the man who reads. Right. The only way you can truly learn is you got to put in that time and read for yourself. So we got to
Right.
put in time reading, and that goes for all of us, brothers.
Dude, I don't know where you want me to start, but I was going to start at verse 6 with the wars and rumors of war, but let me know which verse you want me
Yeah,
to.
that's fine.
So Matthew 24:6, I want people to understand this is coming true right before our eyes. I mean, I don't know how much more obvious.
And you had
And
that whole situation, the whole situation with Israel and Gaza. That was what, like a month ago. That was a little war, but it calmed all down again. Because, a matter of fact, man, I had somebody on the comment board. They
yeah,
said, oh, I'm disappointed because I thought this was it. I thought this was going to escalate to World War III, but it died down. So that their faith was kind of wavering. But hey, brother, this is how it is. There's going to be times where it looks like things are about to pop off, but it all calms back down again. Just like over the last couple of years, there's been instances where we thought, hey, World War III was going to pop off this month, but hey, it never happened. But hey, you know what? That's why the scriptures say what? There should be wars and rumors of wars, right? So we're hearing rumors of wars, but eventually it's going to turn into actual full-out wars. Go ahead.
yeah. The thing I want people to understand too is that all the wars historically, we're let's say tension between far off nations or nearby nations. But now we know, or whatever person understands about the new world order, is that there is now they're going to start working together ultimately to fight against Christ, right? So in the past there's
Right.
wars, and now a lot of it's going to be rumors. Oh, there's a war over here kind of thing. But ultimately they're all working together towards this invasion. But Matthew 24:6 reads, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of war. So it's going to go from wars to now rumors. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So that's a time that's passed. Again, I don't want to say that ETT believes this, but this is my view on this, is that those are things that have occurred, because now, in the age that we live in now, we know that all the governments, for the most part, are on the same page. Do you agree with that,
Right,
ETT?
right. And
Yeah.
I'm in
Yeah.
agreement. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with you, man. I am certainly, in agreement, and hey, man, hey, look, with everything going on right now, we have to be at the end of this thing. Just like our brother Awakened Pennsylvanian said, he made a statement which I absolutely agree with. He said that I can't see the world going on for much longer. And I absolutely agree. I cannot see the world going on past the latest, I would say, that this could last would be 3 years. I cannot see it going. I can't even see it go past 2 years. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it's just this is absolutely insane what we see going on right now, man. This is just we're living in hell. As we all know, we're living in pure hell. Or
Amen.
as
I'll never
GMS would
disagree
say,
with that.
right, as GMS would say, we're living in the worst case scenario.
Yeah. You know what also makes the world unstable is what we demonstrated with our good friend Tony. Not to say anything negative towards him, we have no problems. But the truth makes the world unstable. Us on this live stream, even 7 people watching, makes this world unstable. Why? Because we're reading the Bible and we love it. We know that it's true. Okay, that makes the world unstable because this has
Hey,
never
hey, you
happened.
know what? Yeah. Sorry to cut you off, man. But hey,
No,
to
that was it.
everybody that's watching, hey, to the 7 brothers or sisters that are watching, hey, look, we got to consider ourselves lucky. Why? Because we've been called. We might not have been chosen. As scriptures say, many are called, but few are chosen. But we have at least been called into this knowledge. So why you could be, watching a movie or, a sports game or playing video games or, out at the club, you're just actually here with us, talking about and listening to the scriptures. Okay.
Right.
So we got a one up on these cats in the world here, man. We got a one up on the ass, as in we got a far greater chance of receiving that salvation than these cats out in the world, and even the Christian church, because they don't know anything. Go
No,
ahead.
they're lost. I agree. Like, and in the very least, like it helps us understand what's coming, so it doesn't scare us as much. Obviously, the times are very scary. I don't want to trivialize that, but at least we know that God is behind it, and there's a reason. That a lot of people are going to go through this, and they'll be like, "What the hell's going on?" kind of thing. That's scarier to me. A lot scarier. So,
Right, and the way you got to look at it, man, because we're catching all types of hells and ills on this problem. Matter of fact, I don't know if you heard me tell this story, man, but one thing that recently happened to me that pisses me off still. My dad gave me a old rundown bike to sell for him. He told me he split the money with me. So he
mhm,
told me, hey, sell it for $80. And I was like, oh, okay, which I don't know anything about that because I've never been into it. But what happened was, I put it out online. Somebody agrees to come pick it up, but then somebody else wanted to. So they asked me, could I come get it first? And I told them, sorry, man, I got somebody, who's already coming to get it now. So they offered me 20 extra dollars. So $100 for it. But I was like, hey, I had to be a man of my word. The other guy, I told him he can come pick it up. So I had to turn down your offer. I'm sorry. Anyway, the guy picks it up. He's all happy. He's like, oh yeah, gets out of there. He's there only a minute with me. Takes it, gives me the $80 and gets out of there. Right. But anyway, it turns out that the bike was actually worth $1,500.
jeez,
I mean, I am still so pissed off that happened. But hey, the scriptures say what? My son, if you come to serve the Lord, you better prepare your soul for temptation and take whatever comes upon you cheerfully. So even though I took a hit, I took a huge hit. But hey, you know what? I have to take that hit and I got to move on because, hey, the Lord did that. The scriptures say what? The Lord is in control of all things. So the Lord did that to me. Even though I
Mhm.
get pissed off and mad about it, hey, the Lord did that. Who am I to argue with the Most High? So I
Yeah.
just got to take that hit and, and keep it moving. That's part of that trial. And you got to look back at, our forefather Job. He lost everything. His children got killed. His cattle got stolen from him. He lost everything. But you know what? He still remained faithful to the Lord. So that's the way we gotta, be in these times because we don't know what the hell is going to happen. The scriptures even speak about, I believe it's in the Apocrypha speaks about what that they shall be taken out of their houses. Matter of fact, that's in what is that? Second Ezra is the 16th chapter. I believe it's around the 70th verse. If you want to pull that out,
Okay.
yeah, it speaks
Second
about
Ezra, what again?
at
Sorry.
that time. Second Ezra is chapter 16 and start around verse 70. It should say it
Okay.
speaks about them being taken out of their houses and being tried.
Yeah.
Nearly paraphrasing it.
Yeah, I mean, we're without a doubt we're living in those days, man. This is without a doubt. This is like that. This is why the Bible is so comforting because it's so raw and honest. Okay, Second Ezra 16:70. For in many places and in neighboring cities there shall be a great uprising against those who fear the Lord. They shall be like maniacs, sparing no one, but plundering and destroying those who continue to fear the Lord. For they shall destroy and plunder their goods and drive them out of the house and home. Then the tested quality of my elect shall be manifest like gold that is tested by fire. So,
Right. So the main thing at the end of the day is the scriptures speak about. I believe the scripture would be Hebrews the 5th chapter. I would start at the 12th verse. It speaks about what all of us who are sons of the Lord, we all have to endure, chastisement, right? Each of us have to go through something, and that goes for all of us. All of us are going through some type of hell or adversity. Mine is going to be different from yours, and vice versa. We're all going to have to go through our own type of hell, and trial, in this thing. But hey, the goal at the end of the day is what? To receive that salvation. So hey, we just gotta, continue to trust in Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai, and they're gonna come through for us, in these days to come. I'll throw the mic back to you, mighty God.
yeah, I agree. I think for all of us, a lot of us really don't have anything to lose. So, like, even people, if they nickel and dime me, like $5, $10, 20, I'm like, whatever, dude, take it. I don't want it. So, again, don't you don't have to be as callous as me because people have families and stuff. But I don't care at this point. I'm like, whatever, dude. If my money runs out ASAP, that's Gucci, man. I don't want to be here at all. So, but again, take that with a grain of salt because not everybody can be in that position. But sorry, Hebrews where in 5 ETT? I'm just kind of scanning it.
I believe, and let me say, I only pulled this up once, but I believe it's Hebrews 5 and 12. I could be mistaken though. It speaks
Mhm.
about every son of the Lord has to endure chastisement or something along those lines,
Okay, I'll find it.
which I could. Okay.
While you
And
talk,
if
I'll
it's
find
not
it.
there, yeah, man. As I said, it might not be that chapter, but I only saw it once. Um, but yeah, my brothers out there, we just gotta, we really gotta just be diligent, in these times because we don't know what the hell is gonna happen tomorrow. The scriptures, tell us what, think not upon tomorrow. Right. So we're not to be worried on ourselves, but the day is gonna eventually come, where hey, your boss is gonna be like, hey, look, in order to, continue to work here, you gotta comply with our, safety measures. Well,
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. But hey, we're all gonna have to make a tough choice very soon, man. We're all gonna have
100%.
to make a life or death situation is coming our way. We don't know what the hell is about to happen right now. We're living in some times where, I mean, hell, the world seems like it could end tomorrow by how unstable everything is. So we
Yeah.
just gotta, put our faith in Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai, to beam us out of here, right? Because we all want to get out of here on those chariots, right? We all want to be, called up in the sky, raptured away onto those chariots out of this hell. But you know, we gotta just continue to remain faithful and do our due diligence because we're clearly coming upon some serious times here. Anyway, mighty
Yeah.
God, I'll throw that back to you.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's becoming very clear that they in quotes, don't like that we honor the Bible. They don't. They don't even like that we're on this live stream. They don't want us talking about the, and all that. So he's absolutely right. I think everybody sees it, like we had a time where we were quote unquote free to choose God or choose the world or some mix of the both kind of thing. And I'm talking to myself and us. It's not just for people out there. We all are going to have to make a firm decision one way or the other. And man, hopefully we land on the right side. Hebrews 12:6, for the Lord disciplines the one he loves and chastises every son whom he receives. I just read that in the
Right,
ESV
right.
because
And
it's a
that's,
little easier for people to understand.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. But hey, the point is very clear that, we're all going to have to, go through certain afflictions and trials, in this life. But the scriptures say, um, I believe it's, let me see, I believe that's Romans 8 and 18. I could be mistaken, but it speaks about what? That the sufferings of our present time, they're not worthy to be compared with the glory that will be revealed in us, right? So, the sufferings that we're going through right now, it's not going to be comparable to the things that we are about to receive. That's why the scriptures say what? In Revelation, it speaks about what? The him that overcomes, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God. Now, what is a pillar? A pillar in that context is referring to what? A high position of power. And that's why when you go into Revelation chapter 2, it speaks about what? That him that overcomes, he shall gain power over the nations, right? So that's part of that reward that we're going to receive, at the end of this thing is what? Rulership, dominion, and power, over these, over things in the kingdom, right? Over nations, over peoples. We're going to be the new celebrities on the block. But first we got to go through this trial in order to receive, such a great inheritance. Anyway, I'll throw it back to you, mighty God.
Yeah, I'll quote Romans 8 that you brought out. This is a great one. Romans 8:18. For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us. For the creation waits with eager longing for the revealing of the sons of God. And so that's what it is, man. Even if we're not in the elect, that group is going to be righteous. So I'd rather be a servant to that group than a servant to Biden. Okay. And ETT said that if he is one of them, he's going to treat me nicely. And it's recorded here. So he said, we got it on record kind of thing.
Oh,
So, but
absolutely. Hey, as I said, man, which I believe mighty God is an Israelite, right? This brother's an Israelite. The scriptures tell you what? That what is that? Daniel the 12th chapter says what? The wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. So hey, this brother, mighty God, this brother's an Israelite. So he ain't got anything to worry about. But hey, if somehow he did turn out to be a heathen, hey, this brother's cool. He's welcome to eat at my table in the kingdom. But this brother will be taken care of, man.
So this is the thing with people. For me, I welcome both scenarios. I think I want people to be encouraged by the possibility that I'm not or I am. So I represent somebody who could be on either side. But that doesn't mean that we can't like people come by my channel and I don't arrogantly state that I'm the elect, because if I'm not, I'm okay with it. Because like, what did Christ say to the woman? And she was clever. She'll take the crumbs that fall off the master's table. I'll take the crumbs. I have no issues, dude. I'll no problem with that. Okay. And I want all of us to have that attitude, because the crumbs in the kingdom are better than this demonic place that we live in called Mystery
Right,
Babylon.
right,
That's
right.
for
And
sure.
that's why I believe it was King David. He said what? That if I could receive nothing, I would give up all of this. And I'm nearly paraphrasing it, just to be a door holder in the kingdom of my God. Anyway, man, I am going to be closing the show up in like 5 minutes here. You have any last statements you want
No, this was good, man.
to
I
make
enjoyed it,
before
dude.
I
I
close out?
think we need to do more of these occasionally. Just not so much debating and just letting people know that there's something good in the future. But I appreciate it, man. Enjoyed it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man. As I said, I'll probably try to go live every evening, or at least once a day. I'm gonna, try to, because we're in the time now where we got to give this thing our all right now. We got to, for a lack of better words, we got to put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, with this thing. We got to be giving this our all, because we're now starting to come down to the wire, and you can see it, right? All the signs
100%.
are speaking. Right. So we got to give this thing our all, so, and that goes for all of us, right? All six brothers who are watching. Anyway, I do want to say, if anybody made this far into the video, put hashtag, let's see, mighty God, what should be the hashtag to put in the comment this time?
Hashtag crumbs We'll take the crumbs.
Yeah. Hey, you heard him. You brothers heard him. Put hashtag crumbs in the comment section if you have watched the entire stream after it has been recorded. But anyway, man, I'm gonna close the show up with that. I thank you for, joining me. And hey, maybe you can mirror part of our discussion. That always be,
Oh yeah, I'll do this one
helpful.
for sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Let me just.
absolutely.
Do you
I
mind if I read
respect
that
it.
verse really quick, Et? Just to end off on
Oh,
that
go
with the
ahead. Go
crumbs.
ahead.
Matthew
Yep.
15:27. She said, "Yes, Lord. Yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table." Then Jesus answered her, "Oh woman, great is your faith. Be it done as you desire." And her daughter was healed instantly. So enjoyed it, man. Peace. Have a good night, ETT.
Okay. Okay. You too, man. See you around. All right. So anyway, that's gonna, wrap up our discussion for tonight. I am gonna, eventually, change the title of the video because we didn't really deal with flat Earth. But hey, that was cool. I always like to have an open mic discussion, and you never know where the discussion is gonna end off. Ending, right? You never know, and that's the fun of it. But anyway, of course, I do want to end off by giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh and to His Son Yahweh Shai for this understanding and this truth, and of course, a sincere shalom to all the brothers who have joined us for this show tonight. Please put on that bell icon so you are notified the next time I go live. And hey, any of you brothers who might be shy, hey, you're what most certainly all welcome to join us on our show. Okay, so hey, next time if you want to step up and join and get in on the conversation, hey, you're free. Just click that link, and you're certainly welcome. As family, to join us up here in our discussions. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to end off the show with that. I hope that was edifying for all you brothers. Once again, a hashtag crumbs in the comment section. If that being said, I'm going to say shalom.